In the first part of this video, we touched on the history of Ikki Kajiwara's manga, then adapted into anime of Tiger Mask. Through New Japan Pro Wrestling, the legacy of Tiger Mask continued to shine brightly under the spotlight of Japan's wrestling circuits. Picking up the story where we left off, it all starts with one name and one man, that being Satoru Sayama.
In 1976, Satoru Sayama would debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling in the junior heavyweight division. Seiji Sakaguchi would send Sayama on wrestling excursions to both Mexico and the United Kingdom to get a little bit more in-ring experience. It was in the United Kingdom where he performed as Sammy Lee, a gimmick approved by the Lee family and based on Bruce Lee. This gimmick brought Sayama a considerable amount of popularity across the United Kingdom. However, in 1981, Hisashi Shinma, sales manager of New Japan Pro Wrestling, contacted Sayama stating, "I have a good story, so please come back." Sayama, feeling torn after gaining so much popularity in the United Kingdom, was hesitant to leave. But Shinma's persistence and mentions of TV Asahi being involved and Antonio Inoki already setting things in motion convinced him to return to New Japan Pro Wrestling's roster. On April 21st, 1981, the first hints of Tiger Mask were seen on TV Asahi, stating that the real Tiger Mask would debut at the Kurame Kokugikan tournament. Due to time constraints, the design for the first appearance of Tiger Mask was a bit of a compromise. The original mask worn only made a few appearances until the correct order was placed, but it still marked the beginning of one of the most thrilling rivalries in professional wrestling, with Dynamite Kid standing opposite of Satoru Sayama. Sayama's unique in-ring style blended New Japan's strong style with karate, lucha libre's aerial maneuvers, and British wrestling's catch-as-catch-can technique, and was described as four-dimensional professional wrestling. The impact of Tiger Mask was felt immediately, seeing that viewership for New Japan Pro Wrestling would soar on a weekly basis by 25%. And the real Tiger Mask became a household name, especially amongst children. So much so that he became more popular than Antonio Inoki at the time. On January 1st, 1982, Sayama would defeat the Dynamite Kid in the WWF ring, capturing their junior heavyweight championship. He went on to unify the title with the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, thus representing the face of the junior heavyweight division across the United States. On April 21st, 1982, the debut of the Black Tiger, the inverse of Tiger Mask, would be played by the foreign wrestler Mark Rocco and sparked a fierce new rivalry. Black Tiger would go on to torment Sayama for the next year, and his use of the Tombstone Piledriver as a finishing move would force Sayama to adapt a more aggressive in-ring style, further intensifying their battles. The first Tiger Mask releases in toy form came from both Bandai and their subsidiary brand Poppi. In 1982, Poppi released the Super Proresu Keshi set, while most other Tiger Mask figures were released based on the looks of the manga and anime counterparts, but would often still feature Sayama in the early design of the mask on the packaging, which left demand for representation for New Japan Pro Wrestling and action figures that would only come later down the line. The only two official toy releases for the Black Tiger persona both came from Medicom Toy Company's Sofubi Fighting Series line. These 9-inch soft vinyl figures would see two renditions released. Both came equipped with a removable vinyl mask and a soft vinyl cape that had snap enclosures. It featured an airbrushed tiger stripe pattern. Sayama, as the first Tiger Mask, as well as his most famous opponent, the Dynamite Kid, would get the same treatments from Medicom. With several variations of their in-ring attires, they remain to be some of the most recent toy releases for both wrestlers. However, proving even more recent is the Sofubi Pro Wrestling series produced by Junk Shop Dog, based in Australia. This line is a modern continuation of the Popey Sofubi wrestling series. It's hard to fathom that Popey never released these two in the 1980s, but thanks to this line, both the first Tiger Mask and the Dynamite Kid would see releases. The Dynamite Kid featured two variations in his attires, which has been documented for his time throughout the wrestling circuits of Japan in the 1980s. While the Dynamite Kid releases over the years have been sparse, Sayama's time as Tiger Mask saw many different companies with different sculptural approaches throughout the years. Some of the earliest of those releases were made by Character Products, better known to international collectors as Charapro. In the early 2000s, they would release several sculpts from their extended Hyper Heroes line that featured several re-releases with different championships and masks worn by Sayama, to their mini Big Head Rokaku Heroes line, and 3 different sculpts came out of the Wrestling Keshi blind box sets. But my favorite amongst these has to be the 3.75-inch articulated action figure line I've since dubbed Chara Joes. At an ideal scale, this line pushes the articulation of G.I. Joes further, with an added thigh swivel on most of the figures in the line, and a slight increase in scale compared to normal G.I. Joes. If you've been a long-time follower of Now Home, I've gone on record several times stating this is the greatest wrestling figure toy line made, and I still stand behind that statement.
In May of 1983, Satoru Sayama's run as Tiger Mask would come to a halt for reasons beyond his control.
The author of the Tiger Mask manga, Ikki Kajiwara, was arrested on suspicion of assaulting a Kodansha editor. An internal turmoil rocked New Japan when Antonio Inoki resigned temporarily amid a scandal. Amongst all this, Sayama made the bold decision on September 21, 1983. He unmasked publicly in an interview with Tokyo Sports. The true identity of Tiger Mask was revealed to the world. As a free agent, Sayama quickly became a hot commodity for wrestling promotions everywhere. However, his exit from New Japan, combined with his shifting interest into mixed martial arts, made securing him a challenge. The founder of All Japan Pro Wrestling, Giant Baba, preemptively secured the rights to the Tiger Mask persona. But with Sayama gone, Baba needed someone to take over the role. Enter Mitsuharu Misawa. Misawa, then wrestling in Mexico, was contacted and asked, "Can you jump on the corner ring post?" His answer would birth the second generation of Tiger Mask. Misawa was initially hesitant, feeling that the shadow of Sayama's time under the mask would make his own run difficult. But as he evolved into a heavyweight, developing a more grounded in-ring style, Misawa pushed his own identity while still honoring the aerial moves of Sayama. He invented the Tiger Suplex in 1984, a defining move that would follow him throughout his career. However, an injury in 1989 sidelined him for nearly a year. Fast forward to 1990, when Genichiro Tenryu left All Japan to the new promotion SWS. Misawa made a statement saying there's a limit to the masked man aiming for the top. And on May 14, 1990, during a match in the Tokyo Gymnasium, Misawa stunned the crowd by revealing his identity as the second Tiger Mask. Though Misawa's version of Tiger Mask was never immortalized in action figure form, the legacy of his run lived on through a rubber eraser toy, better known as Keshigomu, as documented in a wrestling-themed issue of Comp Rex magazine. Let's rewind back to 1984. While Misawa's run as Tiger Mask was just beginning, Satoru Sayama would return to the ring with the UWF promotion, this time under the moniker The Tiger. His new attitude and in-ring style, heavily influenced by martial arts, marked a significant shift from his previous persona. Sayama is credited as one of the earliest figures to bring mainstream attention to mixed martial arts in Japan. This new version of Tiger Mask featured a distinctive design element, a military insignia featuring the Roman numeral 3 on his mask. The numbers symbolize the evolution of Tiger Mask, stating that the first Tiger Mask, now the third mark, is the last general. And as seen on the Metacom Sofubi Fighting Series figures, this choice was not just a stylistic update, but also a statement on Sayama's reinvention of the character, marking the transition from the original Tiger Mask to a new phase in both his career and the Tiger Mask legacy. This design would become prominent on his mask for a while, until Sayama ultimately lost the rights to his name and his wrestling gym. After that, he fully committed to his role in the UWF, where he would be rebranded as Super Tiger, sporting a striking purple and silver mask. His battles with Yoshiaki Fujiwara, Nobuhiko Takada, and real-life rivalry with Akira Maeda during this time are still considered classic moments, and they would play a pivotal role in the growing rise of mixed martial arts in Japan. Now in 1992, Koji Kanemoto briefly took on the Tiger Mask persona as a one-off appearance for New Japan Pro Wrestling's 20th anniversary, but his time as Tiger Mask was so successful that they decided to keep the mask on Kanemoto. Though overshadowed by Sayama's legacy, Kanemoto's run would go on for 2 more years and ultimately ended on January 4th, 1994, when he lost in a mask versus mask match against Jushin Thunder Liger. Still unknown to some wrestling fans is that Eddie Guerrero also has an involvement in the Tiger Mask legacy. His role as the second Black Tiger in 1993 embarked on a 3-year run that would make him one of the most beloved wrestlers in Japan at the time. His intense rivalry with Koji Kanemoto, the Pegasus Kid, and Jushin Thunder Liger were some highlights of Japanese wrestling in the 1990s. And in 1996, Guerrero went on to beat and win the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, marking a high point in his storied career. In 1994, Sayama would return to New Japan Pro Wrestling for a one-off match against Jushin Thunder Liger. Then in 1997, he would reinvent himself as Tiger King, going on to face Antonio Inoki in a highly anticipated matchup between the two aces of New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 80s. He also made an appearance in a special Tiger Mask festival which saw 4 different versions of Tiger Mask face off in a tag team match. This time period would mark Sayama passing the torch to his newest disciple, Yoshihiro Yamazaki, who would go on to become the 4th generation of Tiger Mask. Debuting in Michinoku Pro, a promotion ran by the great Sasuke, there he would wrestle alongside Sayama and have a great run as a main event attraction, which would lead to him debuting for New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2002. The 4th Tiger Mask continued the legacy with thrilling matches against the likes of Jushin Thunder Liger, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, Rocky Romero, who portrayed the 3rd generation of the Black Tiger, and TNA star Low-Ki. Which also reminds me that he made appearances for TNA Impact Wrestling through their partnership with New Japan. The 4th generation of Tiger Mask still remains to be a prominent figure in New Japan Pro Wrestling to this very day. And back in May, in my last trip to Japan, I was actually able to catch him at the Kodokan Hall Best of Super Juniors semifinals. He continues the tradition of the character while pushing its evolution forward. His legacy is also attached to the likes of the All Japan Pro Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship title, and this next one might make you laugh. He recently appeared in a Kanye West music video, just showing how far the Tiger Mask character has come since his manga debut in 1968. The 4th Tiger Mask's earliest figures were produced by Company Progressa in 2002 exclusively for Michinoku Pro. This black transparent cast soft vinyl toy came at the same scale as the Sofubis we've shown off throughout our exhibition, allowing a synergy for the Nakajimas to the Denjins and Metacom figures representing the many eras of the Tiger Mask universe. The following year, Chara Pro would release their most detailed figure to date of the 4th Tiger Mask in their New Japan Pro Wrestling Superstar Wrestling figure series. Japanese company Inspire would later release a 1/12 scale figure with real cloth goods. And lastly, How Arts would release their How collection, a super deformed chibi-style sofubi that would later go on to influence modern toy series 16D, produced by Good Smile Company. Though this chapter of the Tiger Mask Legacy draws to a close, your journey with the Tiger Mask Legacy could just be getting started. You can dive deeper into the full written exhibition at nowhomeshop.com and check out our curated gift shop for hand-picked pieces that'll bring the story home to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun and enjoyed the ride. Until next time, stay curious.